Bradley, welcome. Please tell us a little bit about yourself, DSI Compliance, and your team.
So I have been involved in software sales for 30 years. I've been involved in compliance and cybersecurity for the last 20 years. So we've since then built up a team around compliance and cybersecurity, which led us to create a technology company, which is DSI Compliance, about 18 months ago. So DSI stands for Data Security Inspector, because the original plan was that it would do exactly what it says on the tin, that we would inspect data. What's now happened is that the technology company has completely eaten up the consultancy side. So we still do consultancy, but the technology has really kicked off.
Bradley, what are some of the key drivers behind DSI Compliance direction to leverage IBM Cloud and Watson services?
So the first customer that we took on the voice front is a very large retailer, and they expressly told us they did not want either of the major competitors. I have to be very careful there. And in fact, when we tried all of the different companies that claim to do voice to text or similarities, Watson came out on top by a considerable margin.
Bradley, how easy was it to create, deploy, and test the DSI Compliance application with such strict security requirements from government agencies?
So technically, it was very easy. We were able to build our stuff very comfortably, very quickly, and that's been absolutely fine. We were also very well supported by IBM people, not only in the police reseller teams, but also from a hand-holding perspective about what we needed to do and how we needed to do it. We then enhanced that with our own security clearances, pen tests, and ISO alignment, which we've now undergone. And of course, with IBM particularly, you have an extra level of security in terms of hosting and technology, and that gives us a huge edge.
Tell us a little bit more about the solution itself. It's very neat, so I would love to hear more about it.
The original premise behind the technology was a large retailer was using paralegals to listen to voice tapes, because their own staff, even though trained to look for GDPR, when you're a young person and working in a call center and somebody middle-aged is ranting at you, you may forget your GDPR training. So their solution was that the paralegals would listen into the tapes and try and find out if there was any GDPR content that they'd missed. So what we built was a way to transcribe voice to text, but more importantly, it wasn't the accuracy of the transcription, because the problem with transcription is you're always dependent on the quality of the device that you've used to record in the first place. So if I talk to you in a nice, secure room, chances are I'll be 97, 98% accurate in the transcription. If I'm talking to you and I'm on a bus by a building site and you're in a laundrette, you'll be down in 30% and then some in terms of accuracy. So our focus was to look at actually the keywords and phrases that would be applicable, rather than just transcribing swathes of information that's mostly irrelevant.
What business opportunities have opened up for DSI Compliance because of this work with IBM? And I believe you worked with a value-added distributor, Arrow, as well as part of the process.
It's been absolutely eye-opening. They helped us to understand the market, the requirements around it, and crucially, they introduced us to prospects and end users, as well as resellers, to help us establish ourselves. They even introduced us to companies that manage infrastructure purchasing with the police. So that means that instead of us having to fight tenders, they can buy directly through I2 or through the various partners. So we have more opportunity to win sales.
Right.
As far as Arrow is concerned, Arrow has also been very, very supportive, helped us with all the, how can I say this nicely, paperwork that sometimes crops up. They've helped us navigate through that too. So we are very grateful for what they've done, and particularly in the police force.
Bradley, just one final question. How did the hybrid cloud build team help you in the process as you're creating and deploying the application on IBM Cloud and Watson service?
I have to say that Adam is marvelous. I wouldn't say this to his face because it would encourage him, but first of all, his knowledge of IBM is encyclopedic. So any question, any issues that came up, he was able to answer it or put us in front of the right people to answer it. And secondly, that his help on the technical side has been outstanding.
Tell us a little bit what sets IBM apart from the standpoint of IBM Cloud and security.
So when you are dealing in the security stroke compliance world, confidentiality, of course, takes on a whole new meaning. And one of the big differences between IBM and all of the competitors, and when I say all, I absolutely mean all of them. We have looked and investigated all of their potential. You're the only one that doesn't keep the file at the end of the day. And that is worth its weight in gold. So in the case of the large retailer, for example, they would not want somebody else that is involved in retail to have access to potentially damaging files or information or anything like that. And IBM, because of the twin pillars of security and confidentiality, absolutely knocks the rest of them into a cocktail.
So Bradley, thank you so much for your time today. The solution is terrific and groundbreaking in the security space, and we greatly cherish and value the partnership with you. So good luck and have a great day.
Yes, you too, and thank you for everything.